to episode 24 of Series 6 of Master League Story Mode. And a happy new year to all of you. It's been a fair while, hasn't it? I apologise. I've been pretty silent. There's been a lot of times where I've thought, right, I'm going to put out a message, tell everyone what I'm doing, and I've thought, no, I'm just going to do it. And then it's gone on a bit longer. But I've had a lovely break, really enjoyed spending time with family and friends over Christmas and New Year. And also a little bit of time to reflect on the future of this channel, which, for the first time in 3-ish years, has been a bit up in the air. As you'll probably know, I recently had my second child. It made things a little bit difficult after his birth. So we did a bit of live streaming. That went sort of quite well, but also sort of lost me hundreds of subscribers. That's fine. I'm not in it for the subscribers or the money. I'm in it because I enjoy it and I enjoy interacting with you, the audience. But it was difficult to take, and I thought, no, I need to work out where this channel's going, what I want to do, what do I enjoy the most, what gives me the most pleasure, and what hopefully gives you guys the most pleasure as well. And as a part of that, I went to the patrons. I don't maybe talk about the Patreon enough, and there's a core few of absolute legends who've supported this channel for many years now. Just giving a little bit each month. There's a link in the description if you fancy it. If not, don't worry. But they get to make big decisions on this channel. They get to vote. They haven't voted in a while, but they were given a vote to decide whether we keep live streaming or basically what we decide to do. And the result of that was basically what I'm about to do. So first thing, and this is going to be maybe difficult for some of you, I'm afraid the Jermaine Defoe Become a Legend series is done. It's over. It was just painful. It was just, I don't know what it is about Become a Legend, or maybe just playing with that Rangers side, or playing with Jermaine Defoe, I don't know. It just didn't have the draw that it's had in the past, and I can't keep battling through that. I don't have the enjoyment in it to make the time for it, so I'm afraid, as much as I love and respect the legend that is Jermaine Defoe, we're just going to have to say, no trophies for you, Jermaine. And we're not going to be live streaming anymore. We're going to be focusing on Master League Story Mode. For now, that is. I've got some plans. I definitely want to give a Euro 2020 series a go when that patch is out. And I've also got a really interesting Become a Legend prospect that, you know, if I get a little bit more free time, I'd certainly be interested in doing. But for now, we concentrate on Zico and Ponte Preta, and we're back to it now, and I am absolutely raring to go. Get into this transfer window, bulk out the squad, get ready for Serie A, and see how we get on against the big boys, because we are going to be taking a serious step up. But before we get into that, I do want to just point out that the schedule is going to change. The schedule is going to be slightly more fluid. I'm really going to try to keep the schedule, but I do need that regularity, otherwise things can just slip. So the plan is going to be 2 episodes a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays. It's Tuesdays and Saturdays. But the big difference is, and this goes back to what I was talking about, trying to just recapture what I loved initially about this channel is, obviously it's going to be Master League, but I'm going to try and add a little bit extra to the episodes, a little bit more information, a little bit more learning, a little bit more history. That's what I love about this series, and what I loved about creating the intro, and what I've loved about learning about Brazilian football, and hopefully we can do a little bit more of that together. So, like Dr. Dre, I've been in the lab with a pen and a pad for the last couple of weeks, and I've got some info and even some graphics. So look forward to that. I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to do some player profiles. We're going to delve into the history and the stories behind some of the teams that we're going to be playing, and the Brazilian League in general. I'm really looking forward to it. So with all of that said and done, let's just get on with it, shall we? This could end up being a pretty long episode. But what we do need to do is go to the next season, and what a season we have just had, finishing 6 points ahead of second place Curitiba to propel the Black Bridge, the Macaca, back into Serie A for the first time since 2017. Let's do it. Oh, and yeah, obviously we're not going anywhere. Zico staying put, firmly put. The project has begun, and this is only the beginning. Come on. Here we are. As we know, we've been promoted alongside Curitiba and Vitória. Curitiba pushed us the hardest. Vitória were a high-scoring team, and Sporting Recife just about snuck in, I think, with a 3-point margin. Going down, I think a lot of these teams were actually the promoted teams from last season. Could be wrong. Fortaleza, Avaim, Bahia, and Susa. It's always weird that CSKA Moscow is called CSKA Moscow. Anyone else? Right, anyway, let's go. The 2020 season is now underway. A new decade for Ponte Preta, the oldest club side in Brazilian football. What will this decade hold? Well, this decade will start with a cutscene, the rarest of commodities in PES 2020. We know they exist, we don't know when they're coming, but it's always good to see Angry Phil Collins Things are looking a bit tense here. He wants to discuss our season objectives. We want to be aiming higher next season. Well, we can't get any higher than Serie A. 6th position in the league. How does that sound to you? That is a bit of a stretch, Phil. Phil, come on. Come on. Zico, don't be rushed into anything here. So we can either agree to that. Top 6 could be tricky. There are at least 4 top sides in Serie A. Top half of the league, definitely what we should be aiming for. Focus on winning the league. Well, there isn't enough crack in the world for Zico to be smoking to come up with that answer. So I think we're going to be fairly conservative here. We can finish in the top half. Zico's about to break the bad news here. 13th position or higher. Come on. We're going to need some cash there, Phil. You're going to need to open your wallet, because we need to strengthen this side. We absolutely do. We're losing some key players in Luis Carlos, Reginaldo. They need to be replaced, and then we've got business to be done to strengthen this side. But Angry Phil Collins seems fairly reasonable. All right, yeah, it's modest, but we understand. We're disappointed, but that's fine. Willem Dafoe, the coach, has got the iPad out. He's happy. Zico, yeah, I can't actually touch my chin, but I'm happy. So here we are, and we sit top of the table so far in Serie A. But we do have some Copa Brazil games to start off with. Got to remember this strange schedule where actually you play the entire cup competition before we even get going with the league. And we start against newly relegated Bahia. We will play at least one. We're just going to play the one game today, and we're going to try and leave things today just before the end of the transfer window to maybe get a vote in, maybe get your opinions. We don't actually have a huge amount of time. We've got we've got a month basically, and that's going to run away from us very, very quickly. Let's see what messages we've got here as we make our way into the top flight. Obviously a lot of player departures as the loanees leave. Ayrton, who didn't actually, some of these were players going out on free transfers. Reginaldo, that's a big miss. Luis Carlos, that's a big miss as well. They're happy with our season's targets. We might have a little bit more money in there. Training report. Oh, Oliveira's gone up to 70. That's not bad. Ivan up to 73. Good work there. And we do have some player contracts to look at, namely Marillison and Abner. Matthias Vargas almost certainly going out straight away. He's a player that we can definitely look to sell. We found a special player. The scout is happy with that. We'll go and have a look at that in a second. Take a quick look at the budget report. So 27 mil transfer, 3 mil salary. It's okay. We've got some money to be earned though in the negotiations. Let's check out the scout first though. What have we got here? So a player we looked at, which we quite like, was Balboa. Got a little bit of everything that we need. I think good finisher, good in the air. He's pretty tall. Acrobatic finishing, good offensive awareness, certainly one that we would like to sign. Gustavo, the one that the scout was very pleased about. I can understand why, he's brilliant, but he's well out of our range at 77 rated. 90 header, proper target man there, he'd be excellent, but not for now. So what we do have are a few players or a few free transfers that we lined up before the end of last season who I think we're going to pull the trigger on, and we have an absolute touch of luck here. Whoa, this is a great way to start the year. Matthias, who we have begun negotiations with, so this is signed, sealed and delivered. We can do this, it's within the rules. We've sort of adapted these rules as we went. He's gone up to 75 overall rating since we started dealing with him, so we can pull the trigger on that. That's absolutely fine. And that means we can negotiate now with players up to 75 rating. That is an absolutely huge development here. Lucas Claro, a really good centre-back, is also someone that we're definitely going to bring in. So we're just going to get those done. That can set the scene here. Lucas Claro obviously coming in, replacing Reginaldo. We've very quickly got that one sorted. And Matthias, Babetto's son, is going to come in as possibly an Eduardo replacement. Not a crazy salary either, but crucially it comes in at 75, so that's going to be absolutely massive. Oh, that is amazing. That's such a good start. Endo, a defensive mid. We might want to sign him. But we've got some players on the list that we can now look at. First of all, I do remember, yes, Mobele, the Congolese, is that what it would be? From the Democratic Republic of Congo. Centre forward, a free agent, 75 rated. He was out of our range before, but now well within sight. 74 finishing is maybe a slight concern, but his speed, acceleration, his balance and offensive awareness, I'm sure make up for that. He's got no player skills. He's 26 years old, so he's not going to improve that much, but we cannot turn down a potential starting, or at the very least, back up to MLSM striker, who's very interested in coming, of course. We don't want to take too many risks with this salary. Give him a nice big goal bonus and a win bonus, and we'll try and sign him for 3 years. 1.5 million. We don't need to even sell any players, and we've got our centre forward. Absolutely huge one there. Very, very pleased with that. The other player that we had our eye on that we couldn't for some reason sign before the new year, but now we probably can, is the defensive midfielder Luis Fernando, coming from the Portuguese league, and with a very small 16 million release fee. So we'll see if we can get this done. He is a destroyer who I think will be a perfect replacement for Luis Carlos. 16 million will secure his transfer, and he's got a good impression of the club. That's really, really important. That could have gone badly. There's nothing to say that he might just not have wanted to come to Brazil, which would have been fair, but he's happy to return to his homeland, and we'd be very happy to have him, so we can try and negotiate that down slightly. Of course, we'll give you a goal bonus, mate. A win bonus as well. Let's hope that goes through. There is Luis Carlos. He doesn't have a release fee. He's also gone back to the Portuguese league, so we're going back to Portugal. Would he be interested? We can't actually look at the moment. Tempting. But anyway, there's a few irons in the fire there. Very, very exciting stuff. We could be plugging quite a few of the gaps very, very quickly. Actually, what we do need to look at now is who will we be selling. Obviously, Eduardo, that's a tricky one. With Matthias coming in, he may be surplus to requirements. They're pretty much identical players. Matthias Vargas, yeah, we can definitely get rid of him. So Abner, we needed to look at his contract, as it runs out next year. I mean, he's got a year left on it. He's going to want a big salary, isn't he? We'll give it a go. Give him that much. We'll give him a win bonus and a clean sheet bonus. And we don't mind giving him 28 million. We'd accept 28 million release fee, so we'll lower that slightly. We do want to keep him there. Obviously, the Brazilian Roberto Carlos, at his age, only 20 years old, you want to keep him on board. Matthias Vargas was another one of the contract rebels. MLSM, obviously players interested in the South American Player of the Year, Serie B top scorer, hopefully Serie A top scorer. But what we haven't done, and what we realise is the reason we've had such a small transfer fee offered for him is his release fee is 923,000. So we can, yeah, I mean, just as out of respect to him, we probably need to, hang on, how much is he on? His current salary, 115,000. What value that season has been from Ziggy. No, we'll offer you 7. He's satisfied. Oh, no, we'll offer you 6. He's satisfied. Big old goal bonus there. 14 mil release fee. That's a little bit more like it. Matthias Vargas, I mean, you're gone, mate, so we're just going to pull the trigger there. 12 mil for him. Absolutely fine with that. 700 off the salary budget. Matthias Oliveira, I think we probably do need to get rid of him, but I'll just leave that for a bit. And 10 mil for Broj, which takes 1.3 mil off the salary budget. I think that's probably a good idea. Marison, hopefully Mobele as the 2 strikers. We can maybe look for a 3rd striker somewhere, or keep the snoozer if no one buys him. Well, we'll leave it for now. We don't need to pull that trigger quite yet. Let's just keep moving on, shall we? Oh, new signing cutscene, and it is the beautifully haired son of Bebeto. He's got an Alice band on in the press conference, and you've got to love that. He is a player that's going to bring absolute class to this side, a midfielder with flair, touch, experience, and slightly dead behind the eyes there, but he also brings with him a 75 overall rating, which is going to open a few doors for us now. It's a new adventure for him, coming in as a free agent. I can't quite remember where he was before, but it's no bother. We'll learn a little bit more about him in due course. But Matthias, I think, is going to be great for us. He joins up with his new teammates alongside Lucas Claro, the other new signing. So Matthias Vargas goes, Matthias comes in, as does Lucas Claro. Marison is happy. Abner has hit a bit of a snag. Yeah, well, we expected that. We can play hardball here, although a bid from Real Zaragoza. I was thinking of a potential new rule for this series, that if we got bids from European sides, we should let them go. Just because that's exactly what happens in the Brazilian leagues, and that's why it's so difficult for teams to have consistent success in the Brazilian leagues, because a lot of their best players leave. Let me know what you think about that rule. We're not going to do it this season. We could maybe bring it in next season or after this window. But Real Zaragoza surely would be too big an offer for him to deny. Luis Fernando has accepted our offer. Mabele has accepted the offer. I mean, we cannot turn that down, can we really? Those are two huge signings. Let's take a look. Mabele, 1.5 mil salary. Luis Fernando, 16 mil with an 800 salary. I mean, we can just pull the trigger on them now, can't we? I mean, it will take up almost all of our salary budget, but I think it is worth doing. Mabele's taking a 1.5 million real salary hit here. So, yeah, he's obviously committed to the cause. He understands what Zico is doing here at Ponte Preta. He understands the potential to, at the very least, get himself on the world stage as Ponte Preta look to climb up the leagues, maybe start playing in tournaments, big tournaments as well. So, yeah, he's seen the potential here, as have players like Takuma Asano. It would have been nice to bring in Endo. Obviously, we can only bring in one non-South American player per year. That is the rules that we've set ourselves. So it would have been great to bring in Endo as a friend for Takuma Asano, but I think we're going to bring in a Congolese player. Yeah, I think we're going to do it. I don't think we can really turn that down. A 75 rated free transfer centre forward. Broj can go the other way, and we've got just with $4,000 out of what we need to sign Luis Fernando, but we can find that money elsewhere. How much have Real Zaragoza come in? 12 million for Abner. That's an absolute disgrace. But MLSM obviously happy with the contract that we have proposed to him. Only 600,000 salary for the best player in South America. It seems a snip. I think I've absolutely decided that we're going to start him in Serie A, so we're going to renew that contract. Takes a little bit of cash off us there, but we are going to have to also make some sales here. We'll look at the team before we decide about Eddie. He's got a really small salary at the moment. That is annoying. But Broj, with his 1.3 mil salary, has got to go just to allow us to bring in Luis Fernando. Look at that transfer budget, 50 million. Salary budget is looking a little low. That does give us some room to work with loan transfers though, so I'm not too concerned. But yeah, Luis Fernando with his 87 aggression, 85 physical contact, 78 ball winning, an interception player skill. He's not going to be a pretty player, he's not a great passer, he's not great on the ball, but that is absolutely not what we're signing him for. We're signing him to break up play, give the ball to the flair players and just start again. And yeah, I think it's a very reasonable price. 16 million for him, 800,000 salary is absolutely achievable. So we'll get it done. We have made some very, very quick progress in this transfer window. What are we, 3 days in? That is easy work there for Ponte Preta. Zico making moves early doors. Let's keep moving. Oh, a nice long gap there. Not a huge amount happening now, but we've done a lot of great work. We'll have a lot to deal with here. So here he is, our new centre forward. Actually, I really hope this isn't Luis Fernando, but I'm pretty sure that's Mabele. Welcomed to the training ground here and Campinas. And here he is having a word with Zico. Will he get a chance to start for this club? Well, he's got to compete against the best player in South America first. But we are very, very pleased to welcome him in. There are not many foreign players playing in Serie A at any one time. I think there is no more than about 12, 13 foreign players in the entire league. And that is including South Americans. Yeah, that is how incredibly Brazilian the league is. Weirdly, in real life, Ponte Preta have just today signed a Senegalese midfielder who will become the only African player currently in Serie A. But we now have two foreign, well not, I'm saying foreign, two non-South American players. Takuma Asano, not the only Asian player in Serie A, there is a Korean player. But Mabele will come in now as the only African player and our second non-South American player. I'm very excited to see what he has to offer us. Obviously an absolute bargain coming in on a free transfer. So let's take a look at the messages today. I mean, Broj going, maybe we didn't give that enough attention. Campinas born and bred, a real legend at the club, the captain in real life, but he couldn't nail down that starting striker spot ahead of MLSM, and with his age and his high salary, we just had to let him go. And we've had a bid now from Santos for Diego Renan. He is about the best possible backup left back we could ever hope for. So if we can help it, I don't think we should sell him. Luis Fernando joins us, Mabele obviously, and the scouts have got something interesting for us. Let's go and have a look at the team now, shall we? How is it shaping up? So Luis Fernando will come in there. Matthias, in theory, could come straight in. Let's compare him to Eduardo. Offensive awareness, ball control, dribbling. He just edges it over Eduardo. He is amazingly even slower than Slow Eddie, so he's certainly not going to be driving forward His balance is quite low actually. That's one thing that Eddie did have. He's a little bit stronger than Eddie. He's a better low passer, slightly not quite as good when it comes to lofted pass. I mean, there's very little between them. Matthias is actually a considerably better defensive player. That's interesting. If he did want to play in the Igor role, pretty similar player skills. There's not a lot between them. I think we probably can let Eddie go. But Igor, again, a player that made it into the team of the season. He's certainly going to start there. Mabele, we love him, but Ziggy starts there for now until anything goes wrong. Abner obviously is our starting left back. Lucas Claro, I mean, he's higher rated than Bruno Avini, but Bruno Avini, our captain, will keep his spot until something goes wrong there. Jimmy Quids, again, another player who hasn't put too many feet wrong. Matheus Oliveira, I think we're done with. I think Pedro Castro, who showed flashes of good play. Oh no, I don't know. Matheus maybe out there. Is Matheus left-footed? He is as well. Guess Matheus comes in there. Or Fast Eddie. Oh, we liked Fast Eddie. But we may need to release the cash from him. We do definitely need a right winger. And I would like just an exciting, attacking, quick dribbling Matheus Oliveira type player to play in this left-hand attacking midfielder role. That's something we're going to look for. I think we need to look for a winger and we need to look for another attacking mid. And I think that is probably all we need. And then if anything else comes up of interest, then we're certainly going to be open to that. So Matheus, what's he like as centre mid? 75 centre mid, actually decent as a DMF as well. So he's adaptable. We've got a backup right and left back. Guess a box-to-box midfielder. Matheus, I guess, does that as well. Team's looking good. Team is looking good. And we're going to start the season, hopefully, without making too many changes. At the moment, we've only made one change. I think we do want an exciting attacking midfielder. I'm pretty pleased. Let's see what the scout has got for us. And what bids have we had in here? Well, there's Mabele coming in. He is rapid and great balance as well. I think he's got a really good spread of stats. I think he's going to be really dangerous. 79 offensive rating as well. That's important, as we've seen with Alan de Snoozer. How much have they bid for Renan? 13 mil. It's tempting. Oliveira, we've got 10 mil on the table. We're probably going to take that to finance another attacking midfielder. He does have that 900,000 salary, which he does not deserve. Right, let's take a look at the scouts. Oh, they found us a DMF. And obviously at this point we should be maybe considering loan signings as well. Absolutely key to any Brazilian side are the loan signings. So they've come back with Gustavo from Chapecoense. Not that interesting. We did like this guy though, Estevez. Plays centre midfield. It's pretty mobile. Bit weak, but a great passer. Good ball control. Marcinho up here. He plays centre forward, he can. And attacking mid, and right, yeah, okay, yeah, he's good. We try and bring him on full time. Oh, he wants a big salary. Maybe get it down to 1 million. Maybe we should try and sign him. He does look good. Let's take another look, actually. Really investigate this guy. Great in possession, really good passer. Would certainly give us a crossing threat from that right-hand side that we haven't had. He's quick, good balance, a little bit lightweight. No skills, he's 25 years old, he is little, which isn't a big problem really. Actually decent finisher as well. I do like him, It could just be a loan transfer maybe. Not got a huge amount of salary budget, but we do have a fairly hefty transfer budget still to go. Forget the option to buy, we'll just go for a 4.9 loan. Let's give that a go. Would be a smart signing. Player of real quality to bring in. He covers that attacking midfield and right wing position. Player that we were looking for. Anything else on the list that we haven't considered? Obviously we've ruled ourselves out of any foreign non-South American players. So unfortunately Bashar Hassan, who we did look at from Iraq, won't be able to sign him because he was good value. We'd love to sign Rainier. 18-year-old classic number 10 from Flamengo. He looks like he's going to be absolute class, but he's got an 81 million release fee, so I don't think that's going to happen. The other player that we were looking at that we really wanted to sign, and maybe we will one day, but not this season, is Arthur Cabral. He's got a 65 mil release fee. He's only 22 years old and he's going to be an absolute star. But not for now. Yuri Alberto, another player that a lot of you have mentioned to me that we should sign. Of course we should. Look at him. He's ridiculous. But he's got 170 million release fee. That is absolutely absurd. Another starlet from Santos in the mould of Neymar. Let's keep cracking on. We're doing really well. I'm very pleased with how things are going so far. We're not far away now from our first game of this new season. Already building the side very effectively here. Let's take a look at the messages. Oh my god, they've scouted Yuri Alberto. That's insane. Oh my god. Oh my god. That might... Oh, he's actually 76 rated. No. How much could we have got him for, though? Oh, wow. I mean, what a bit of scouting that is. This guy... I mean, they still want... We maybe could have got him for 42 million, and we could have moved money around for that. We've moved heaven and earth for that, to be fair. We might as well just try. Just try and do it, because he would absolutely change our season instantly. We're quite happy to offer just an 85 million release fee. I mean, that'd be an absolute joke. I mean, we don't have a 76 rated player, that's the problem there. But that is so funny that we were just talking about him and then the scout found him. Unbelievable. If only we had a 76 rated player. Well, hopefully this goes through and we can just keep that in our back pocket and just have the transfers there to move around just in case someone makes it there. We're 16 days into the window. What messages do we have? Marcinho has gone through. Okay. They want an extra 500,000 real. This is a loan deal, obviously, for a player that we probably couldn't afford to sign on a full signing, but I think he is a good option. Good passer, mazy runner, speed, good balance, play at attacking midfield. Could well start for us at attacking midfield, actually, because he does give us that speed that we said we wanted and that great ball control and good passing in the centre. So I think we're definitely going to go him. It's 5 million. For that yearly loan signing. There we go. The signings are just racking up here. We're doing exactly the work that we were hoping to do, building this team. Another day goes by. It's very, very busy in the Ponte Preta back office. Zico, that fax machine firing. And here he is, Marcinho. He also gets a little tour around the training ground from APC. Here you go. And here is the big man himself. The track-suited legend. You know all about me. Obviously you do. One of the greatest players in the history of Brazilian football. And we believe in you. Not enough to sign you, but we believe in you. And we think you could hopefully do what Matheus Oliveira couldn't, which is perform consistently all season and give us some exciting, attacking, forward-thinking threats. And he's looking very sharp there. It's a great honour for him to join such a prestigious club. It is a prestigious club, absolutely. He wants a chant. Well, we'll see about that, mate. But we're very happy to have you on board. So pleasing work there, and Yuri Alberto has declined our offer. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, we couldn't afford that, but that's an absolutely insane bit of scouting there. What could have been? I mean, we don't have a 76 rated player, so it couldn't have been, but imagine if it could have been. So another look at the game plan with new signing Marcinho. Comes in as a 72 rated attacking midfielder and actually fits better with the team spirit than Pedro Castro, bringing us up to 85 there. We've now got 3 very similar players, well 4 including Oliveira. We don't need all 4 of them. Who should we sell? Should we give Oliveira another chance? Let Eduardo go and take the money for him? Do we need, I think we do need another centre-back or defensive mid who can play there, but Matheus can, Pedro Castro can as well. Yes, we are still missing a winger, but Marcinho can play out there. We've got 3 centre-forwards. Maybe we should look for Balboa as well, especially if we can get rid of Alan Souza. We've got 3 centre-backs. 1 cover at both of the left and right back positions. I think we're looking pretty good so far. Again, in the comments, let me know what you think. But as I said, Balboa, certainly one that we would like to bring on board. I think, again, maybe another loan transfer. He can maybe try and prove himself for a 4.9 million loan transfer fee. We're happy to go heavy on loan transfers. We can always bring him back in if we like him. So we are approaching our first Copa Brazil game of the season. The Balboa loan is a goer for 5.9 mil. But I now find myself at a point where I'm not exactly sure which player we should be trying to sign. So there will be no more signings in this episode to start our Copa Brazil campaign against Bahia. So at the beginning of this episode I mentioned that I've got some new graphics and that sort of thing, and one of them is a lovely map of Brazil with all the teams, but I didn't include Bahia because I forgot that we'd be playing in the Copa Brazil. still, and they'd been relegated, so I thought we're not going to need to include them. I should have done. We did need to. But I can tell you a little bit about them. They are from the city of Salvador in the province, or county, or whatever you call it, of Bahia, a pretty serious 1,065 miles north of Campinas. So this is a long journey for our first matchup in the Cup. They've actually got a couple of Brasileiros, basically Brazilian Serie A titles, or what was at one point the equivalent of the Serie A. And in fact, in 1959, they defeated the Santasticos of Santos, which we will learn about in more detail in episodes to come. Look forward to that. But that was a team with, obviously, Pele being the big guy. They managed to beat them somehow. And they also won it again in 1988. So they've got a little bit of history. But actually in 2005, they found their way down to Serie C. And then in the 5 years after that, managed to battle back up to Serie A. But then, in this reality, back down to Serie B last season. We replaced them in the top flight, but we meet them now in the Cup. Let's go and look at how we are going to line up today. This is going to be very interesting. Let's see how we're doing for form. Oh, Jimmy Quids will not be starting in his first game. Mobele on a blue arrow is tempting, but we've got to give Ziggy as much of a chance as we can. Question is, though, do we bring in Matthias or Eduardo? I mean, team spirit wise, it's got to be Eduardo, surely. Marcinho's going to keep his spot. The loan signing, obviously impressing Zico in training so far. He slots in ahead of, I guess, Matthias Oliveira or potentially Pedro Castro, but he's not going to play today due to form. We have new signing Luis Fernando anchoring the midfield, alongside Igor, player of the season Igor, the unassuming yet incredibly effective Igor. And Ziggy up top, Takuma Asano, for me, probably my player of the season last year. Other than Ziggy, I guess, who you probably have to give it to, but he was excellent, providing assists and goals. Quick look at Bahia. They've got a good looking centre forward, actually a good looking front three. They're going to have some real fun in Serie B, I'm sure. But in the Cup, well, what do they have at home for us? Let's get into it. Our first game of the new decade. Let's go. And we will be playing here at this beautiful stadium, the Arena Fonte Nova. It was built for the World Cup in 2014. It holds 48,000 of these northerners. And this is the north. It is strange how in Serie A, all of the good teams are really clustered around Rio, around Sao Paulo. And the further north and south you go, it's sort of slim pickings, really. And there is Marcinho. I'm going to have to learn a little bit more about him. I don't know anything about him yet. I've not had time to research him, but he certainly looks to be quality. The loan signing straight into the side today. 2 new starters for us as we look to start the Cup in great style here. A team that dominated Serie A. Can we continue that this season? Let's go. Chance here for the home side as Gilberto brings it forward. Igor's there. That's a lovely ball through. Oh, and that is not the start we needed. A very, very slow start from Ponte Preta. And it's Luca for the home side Bahia. We had problems with early conceding of goals last season, or at the end of last season anyway. Igor trying to make the ground up. Is that Luis Fernando well out of position there? And that is an easy finish there. Ivan beaten very quickly. Our first goal conceded this season. That is not the start we wanted. And that is a very poor ball from Luis Fernando there. A shaky start from the new signing. Passing is not what we signed him for, but still, that was not ideal. Oh, danger here again as Lucca is pushed through. Could it be 2 here for Bahia? And wow, that is some finish from the striker who makes it 2 for the home side. Ibanez just caught out by the 1-2. Avini across, but it's a great finish and Ivan could do nothing about it. We started very slowly here. We've created nothing. And we are in trouble. Good ball into Marcinho. Looks early for Abner, who's not been involved at all today. Needs to get on the ball here. Cuts inside. That's nice. Finds Marison. No, doesn't find Marison, but Marison's found it. Looking for Asano. Just got caught up. Just a little bit rusty. Just a little bit rusty, Ponte Preta today. It's not quite working. Eduardo will get to that. This is a great opportunity here. Sees the run of Takuma Asano, looks to poke it into Marison again, just slightly off target there. Beanie, good strength, but they get that back. Danger here from Lucca, looking for his 3rd of the game. And as half-time approaches, Ivan forced into a good save. We've had absolutely nothing. The home side dominant. Abner into new signing Marcinho. He's going to look for the overlap of the young left back, puts a good ball in. It's miles away from Marison. Arnaldo will hit one low and hard into the defender. And that will be half-time here. Disappointing start to the season. A brace for Lucca. And we have yet to have a shot on target. Only one shot in total in that first half. It's not ideal. It is not how we wanted to start the season. Oh no, another chance here for Lucca. He's on a hat-trick. Bloody hell. Oh, we give the ball away far too easily there. Oh, Naldo, the culprit. And then it's simple stuff into Lucca out of his feet. Gets the shot away. Another great save from Ivan, who has had a lot to do today. Out to Arnaldo. Ball in, looking for Ziggy. Eduardo's there. Oh, it's much better. Arnaldo into Marillison. Fouled in the box. Yes, penalty here for Ponte Preta. Ziggy goes down. Have a spot kick here for an important away goal. It's Eduardo who steps up. Pretty confidently our best set piece taker. We're going bottom left. Fast Eddie. Might not be a Ponte Preta player for much longer, especially if he misses a fucking penalty. Oh, that's a real crushing blow there. And that one doesn't get to that somehow. Shit! Ronaldo, nice ball into Marcinho. Finds Asano, that's a good ball. Asano, ball over the top, looking for Ziggy. Oh, it's a great touch. Can he finish here? Great opportunity, his first of the game. Scored for fun last season, it was a difficult opportunity there. Asano found him well. For a player with not the best passing stats, he can certainly pick a ball through. It's a good save with the feet there. We're starting to play our way into this one. Luis Fernando, that's what we want you to do. That's what we've paid the money for. Allison with the hold-up play, does really well. Releases Abner. Abner into the new signing Marcinho. Does he have the legs to get there? No, he doesn't, but it's fallen kindly to him. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. We have had chances. Zico not happy. 12 minutes left in this one. We just want an away goal. That was much better. Abner put it into an area. Oh, defensive howlers there. Still couldn't take advantage. Well, triple sub here, and we're going to see two new signings. Mabele comes on for Ziggy, who's had a difficult one. Matthias on for Eduardo. Could be a permanent change. And Diego Renan is going to try and give us a little something down that left-hand side. Unfortunately, Abner has failed to today. Last chance saloon here for Ponte Preta to get an important away goal. Diego Renan into Marcinho, the new signing. Almost steps into trouble there, but Luis Fernando will keep it alive. Igor Asano into Matthias. Hits one with the left. Whoa! What an introduction that would have been for the new midfielder. Gets his shot away. This is much better build-up. We've seen nothing of this sort in the game so far. Matthias, it opened up there. Too close to the keeper. Really unlucky. And that's it here in the north. Oh, that's not the start we needed. 2 goals in the first 26 minutes. We certainly played our way back into it. I think there's been certainly an element of rustiness in this performance. Hopefully back at the Majestoso we can put 3 past them. Yeah, chances certainly. Not necessarily any particularly bad performances. We didn't get to see anything from Mabele. Matthias with a good effort having come on. Wasn't enough though. Not good. Not awful, no, just actually really pretty awful. What that does give us now, after our first game in the Cup, it gives you maybe an idea of where we need to strengthen. Can you see any areas that desperately need to be improved? Let me know in the comments. We've got transfer deadline day to come. Hopefully not too many days go by here. Okay, 3, that's fine. So we've got 4 days till transfer deadline day. Hopefully get some more business done there. Are we ready to go for Serie A? Are we not? Let me know. And then join me on Saturday, Saturday for the next episode, hopefully. See you in a bit.